So these are the points that are related to the class. So first is class is a user defined data type. That means class is created by the user according to their own needs. Second is class is provides a way to bind the data and functions into a single unit. So within a single class we can define number of data and we can define number of member functions within it. Next is class is a template for object. That means under one class we can create number of objects that are related to that particular class, and all the objects can use the data members and the member functions that are declared within the class. Next is by default all the data members and member functions of the class are private. So students, if we are not specifying any other access specifier, that means all the data and all the functions within the class are private in nature. So that means we cannot use these private members, data members and member functions outside the class directly. After this, class is always enclosed by the semicolon. So while we are closing the class, then we have to put the semicolon here, only then the class will be closed. Otherwise compiler will show the error. So semicolon is must at the end of class declaration. Next is we can write data and functions within the curly brackets. So here this is the syntax of the class where we can write the data and the functions within the class only. That means all the data members and member functions are declared within the curly brackets. Next, normally we can declare the functions as public while data as private. See students, we can declare the functions, member functions as public because these member functions we have to use outside the class. So if we can declare these member functions as a private data member, so that means we are not able to access those private members outside the class. So in short, we have to declare the member functions as a public so that we can use it outside the class, and data members we can declare as private because data is a very crucial thing while we are creating any software or any project. So we can make the data as private only, and if we want to use this data outside the class, then indirectly with the help of these data member functions we can use the private data member of the class that we can see in the class definition. So this is the syntax where we can write the class. Class is the keyword. After that we can write the name of the class. Here we can declare the data member and the member functions of the class, and here we can close the class with the semicolon. So these are the important points that are related to the class. These points you have to remember while you are declaring the class. Class. Class is a user-defined data type that can bind data and functions into a single unit. So that means a class belongs data and the functions that are associated with this data. So in a simple language, class is a template for objects. See students, for example, we have a class with name fruits. Okay students, so the name of the class is fruits. So for this fruit we have number of objects that have a common properties. So first fruit, for example, we have that comes under this class, that is mango. Second one is chiku, third is banana, and fourth is watermelon. So these are the four objects that comes under this class. So the name of the class is here fruits, while the name of the objects are mango, chiku, banana, and watermelon. So now students, if we are creating a class with name fruits, so for this fruit class we have a data that is related to the fruits, as well as we have a functions that are related to this fruit. So all the data and the functions that are related to this class, that comes under a single unit. So that unit is a class unit. Now students, we can see it with the help of example. So firstly, we can see the syntax, how we can declare a class in C++. So in order to declare a class in C++, we have to write a keyword, that is class. Now students, here you have to note one important thing, that we have to write the class in lowercase only. So here we can write the class as it is. After this we have to write the name of the class. So after space we can write the name of the class and we can start the curly brackets. Now in these curly brackets we have to define the data as well as the functions that belongs to this class. So first data we can declare here data member 1. Second is data member 2. Third is data member 3, and so on. We can declare the number of data members, and after this we have to declare the member functions. So students, member functions we can declare publicly because we have to use the member functions of the class outside the class. So if we can make these member functions as private, that means it won't allow us to use these private data members outside private member functions outside the class. So if we want to use the member functions outside the class, then we have to make it public, and these data members we can declare as private because this data is very important. So this data is very important, so we cannot allow any other person to see the data that is public. So we can make the data as private and we can make the member functions as public, because we have to use the member functions outside the class, but directly we cannot use these data members outside the class, so we can make this private. Now students, here we have to write a private, so that means these data members are private in nature, and here we have to write the public, that means the member functions that we can declare under this public sections that are public in nature. So data member functions we can declare as member function 1, member function 2, member function 3, and so on. So as many as we want, we can declare the member functions under the class. So this is the syntax for class, where this is the data and this is the function. So both the data and function can be bind into a single unit, and that single unit is a class. Now again you have to note one other important thing. For class, when we are closing the class, then we have to close that class with this semicolon. So after closing the curly brackets, you have to put the semicolon here. If you are not putting the semicolon here, that means compiler will show the error. So it is compulsory that you have to close this class using the semicolon. So students, this is the syntax for class. Now we can see how we can with the help of example how we can declare the class. So this is the class declaration. Now students, suppose we have a class with name student. So here we can write the name of student. So here it is student. The name of the class is student, and this is the keyword, and keyword to declare the class is class. Now we can start with the curly brackets. Now what are the data members for this student? What are the data members? Data members is the data that is related to the student class. So what type of data is related to the student class? See, for student, what will be the data? Either its age, its name, roll number, marks. So all these comes under the data member. So the data that is related to the student is his or her age, his or her name, or his or her marks, and we can say his or her gender. So these are the data members. So while we are declaring the data members, then we have to write the data type also. So age is of integer type. So here we can write int age. Name is of character type, and it is a combination of character because the name is of more than one character. So here we can create the array. Suppose the maximum length that we can give to this name variable, that is 20. So it will create a character array of 20 length. After this we have the marks. So marks is either of double type or it's of floating point numbers. After this we have a gender. So if we are writing M or F, male, M for male and F for female, then there is no need to create the array. But if we are going to write MALE or FEMALE, then we have to write here array. So here we can suppose we have the value is either M or F, so there is no need to create the array here. So these are the 4 data members of this student class. After the students, in the public category we have to define the member function. So first member function, suppose we are writing get. Get means we have to collect the information from the student about these data members. So get function is for that. Next function is after getting the information from the student, now we can display that information. So for that we have a function with name display. Now students, these are the user defined functions. Either you can write here G, you can write here G1, G2, G3. Here you can write either put, or you can write dis, or you can write print function. So these are the user defined functions, and before functions you have to write here void. So void means it will return nothing. So after declaring the functions, now we can close the class. So this is how we can declare a class. Now students, here again one important thing, by default all the members, or by default all the data members and the member functions of a class are private. If you want to declare the member functions or data members of the class as public, then you have to write like this. Okay students, here if you are not writing private here, that means by default these data members are private. But if you are writing here as public, that means now these data members are no more private in nature. Now these data members are converted into public. So if you want to declare the data members and member functions as a public or protected, then you have to specify. But if you are not going to make them public or protected, then there is no need to write here anything. That means by default all the member functions and the data members of the class are private in nature. So this is the syntax and this is the example. We can take one more example. Suppose now we have another class and the name of the class is employees. So name of the class is employees, so we can write class, and after class we have to write the name of the class, that is employees. Now students, what are the data that is related to the employees? The data related to the employees is employee ID, employee name, employee designation, employee salary. Okay students, so we have more number of data members that are associated with this employee category, but in this example we can take 3 or 4 data members only. So by default these are private, so there is no need to write the access specifier here. So we can write employee ID is in the integer, so here we can write int employee ID. After this name, so for name we can write char name, and in brackets we can define the size of the array. After this we have the designation. Again the designation is of characters type, so we can write here designation with the character array. After this we have a salary, so salary is in double, so double salary and semicolon. So these are the data members that belongs to this employee class. After this we have to define the functions. So what are the functions that we can define according to this? First function we can define is void get function, means to get the information about each and every data member from the employee. After this we have another function, that is calculate function. So calculate function can do what? Calculate function can calculate the salary of the employee. So here we can write the formula, and using that formula we can calculate the salary of each and every employee. So this is again the function. Next function we can calculate is income tax return. So students, income tax return. So students, using this function, according to this salary, we can calculate the income tax return also. So here we are writing the formula how we can calculate the income tax, and according to that formula we can apply that formula into the salary, and accordingly we can calculate the return of income. And after this, if we want to print that data on the screen, then we have to declare again one more function, that is void print function. And after declaring this function, now we can close the class with this curly brackets, and afterwards we can put the semicolon. So by putting the semicolon only we can close the class. If we are not writing here the semicolon, that means there will be the error, and the compiler will show the error. So this is how we can declare the class in C++. So how the member functions of the class are defined? Member functions are defined either inside the class or outside the class. Means initially while we are declaring the class, then inside the class we have to declare the data members as well as the member functions. So after declaring, now we have to define the functions. That means what we are going to do with those functions that are related to the particular class. So declaration and definition of member function is must. So either we can define the member functions inside the class or outside the class. So first is inside the class. Inside the class we can declare and define the member functions within the class. For example, we have a print function. So this print function we are going to declare inside the class, as well as we can define whatever we are going to write in the print function only inside the class. So second is inside the class functions are also known as the inline functions. So inline functions are the functions that consist of only 2 to 3 lines of code. So if any code is of 2 to 3 lines, then we can consider that code as a inline. So there is no need to write the inline keyword if you are declaring or if you are defining any member functions within the class, and that function is having the length 2 to 3 is having only 2 to 3 lines of code. So that means automatically compiler will consider that member function as an inline function and execute that function as a inline function only. So there is no need to write the inline keyword. After this, we can define only those member functions within the class that consist of 2 to 3 lines code. See students, in case of inline functions, there is a rule that if the function consists of only 2 to 3 lines of code, then only compiler will consider that function as an inline function. So here, if we are defining the member function with only 3 lines of code, and there is no recursive function and there is no go to and break statement inside the functions, then automatically compiler will treat that function as an inline function, and without going to the function call, it can directly bring the definition within the call and directly it can execute that function. So there is a less wastage to execute the inline functions as compared to the normal function. Next is this is the syntax for inside the class definition. Firstly, we can write the return type. So suppose the return type of print function is void. So this is the return type. After this, we have to write the name of the function. So here the name of the function in this example is print. Then we can define the function. For example, in definition we can print cout age is, and here we are going to print. So age is whatever user is entering in this variable that can be displayed. So this is about inside the class. After this, second type of class definition is outside the class. Here we can declare the class members member functions inside the class, but we can define the member functions outside the class. For example, we have a class, and we have a class with name XYZ. In this class we are going to declare the get function inside the class, but we are defining this function outside the class. So this is the end of the function. Now if we want to define this class, then we have define this member function, then we have to use this syntax. So syntax in order to define this function is return type. So return type here is void, so we can write void. After this we have to write the name of the class. So class name is XYZ, then membership operator, and after that we have to write the name of function. So this is how we can define the function, and here we can write the definition. So students, next is definition is using the scope resolution operator, or this operator is also known as membership operator. So membership operator can tell that this function belongs to this class only, because in a single program we have multiple classes and there are the chances that the function name in number of classes is same. So how we can distinguish whether that function belongs to the student class or some other class? So in order to distinguish the classes related to the function, we have to use this membership operator. So this operator is known as a membership operator that can tell this function belongs to which class. After that, large functions we can define outside the class. See students, for inside the class definition, we can write only those functions inside the class that is having code line is 2 to 3 lines only. So that means if the code line of any function is greater than 3, then it's better to write that function outside the class, because in case of the inside function, if the length of the program is small and if there are no recursive functions and no break and no return statement and no go to statement, only then we can define that functions inside the class. Otherwise we can define those functions outside the class. So this is about inside and outside the class. Now we can see the syntax and the examples. Now next is how the member functions of the class are defined. So member functions we can declare inside the class, but we can define the member functions either inside the class or outside the class. So we can define the member functions either inside the class or outside the class. Now students, firstly we can see how we can declare the member functions inside the class. So we can take an example of a student class again. So class student, the data members related to this student class are int age, and second is suppose int roll number, third one is char name. So these are the 3 data members that are related to the student class. So after this we can declare the member function. So here we have to define the member functions inside the class. That means whatever we want to write, the code that is related to the member functions, that we have to write within this class only, because here we are doing for the inside the class definition. So first function is void get. So students, normally we can write the member functions here only. So now we have to define this member functions here also. So this is the declaration. That means this function that belongs to the student class we are declaring within the class. So if we are declaring this within the class, that means this function belongs to this class only. So this is the declaration of function, and after this we have to define the function. So in definition, what we can do, in definition we can get the value from a student of age, roll number and name. So initially we can write cout enter age. After this we can write cout and cin age. Again next statement is cout enter roll number, cin roll number. After this cout enter name. C in name. So students, this is the definition of first function that belongs to the class student. After get function, now we have another function, that is print function. So again, next function we can start void print, and in print we can write cout. Now we have to display these values in the output screen. So cout age is, and age is in which variable? Age variable. After this, in next line we can print cout roll number is, and here we can define the or print the roll number, and after that cout name is and name. So this is how we can close the second function. So if we are going to define the functions inside the class, then we have to write the name of the function, and within brackets we have to define that function. So after defining these two functions, now we have to close the class. Why? Because we are defining or declaring these functions inside the class. So that means class closes here, and after closing the class with curly brackets, we have to put the semicolon. So these two brackets belong to the print function, these two brackets belong to the get function, and this bracket is the close of the class student. So this is how we can define the member functions inside the class. Now we can see for how we can define the member functions outside the class. So if we want to define the member functions outside the class, then we have to declare the functions within the class, and we have to define those functions outside the class. Now you can see, students, how we can define the functions outside the class. For that we have syntax. So what is the syntax? Syntax to define the functions outside the class is return type. After return type we have to write the name of the class, then scope resolution operator. Here we have to write the name of function. So function name and function name and function brackets, and here we can define the member function, and this is close. So this is how we can define the member functions outside the class. See students, this symbol is known as a membership operator or membership label. Now students, this membership operators can tell that this function belongs to this class, because we are now going to define a function outside the class, and in a single program we have multiple classes. So in multiple classes there are the chances that the function name that we are using are same. So that means in order to distinguish the functions, those functions belongs to which class, we have to use this membership operator. So this membership operator will tell this function belongs to which class. Suppose we have two classes, one class with name student and another class with name employees, and both the classes is having the get function. So here again we have a function, that is get function. So in order to distinguish these two get functions outside the class, we have to tell the compiler that this get functions whether belongs to the student class or whether it belongs to the employee class. So this membership function will tell that this get function belongs to which class. So this membership function is compulsory if you are defining the member functions outside the class. Now students, for this we have to see the example. Again, suppose we have a class and the name of the class is student, and after writing the name of the class, now we have to define the function. So first function is age data. So first data is age, second data is suppose name. Okay students, so after this we have to declare the functions. Only we can declare the functions inside the class, but we can define those functions outside the class. So for declaration, we have to use the access specifier, that is public, because if you are not writing public here, that means we cannot define those functions outside the class. After this we have first function is void get function suppose, and second function is void print function. So these are declared inside the class. Now we are going to close the class with semicolon. After this now we can define the function. So for definition we have to write the return type. So return type here is void. So we are writing here void, and after void we have to write the name of the class. So name of the class is student. So void student, then we have to put the membership operator. So here membership operator, then we can write the name of the function. So what is the name of the function is get. So here we can write the get, and after this we have to now define this function. So in definition we can write cout enter age cin age. After this cout name and cin name. So this is the definition of first function. Now we can close these brackets. Again for second function we have to write the return type. So here return type is void. So void, after void we have to again write the name of class. So name of the class is student, membership operator, then the name of the function is print. So print function here we are writing, and in print function now we are going to print the data in the output screen. So cout age is, here we are defining the age. Cout name is and name. This is the end of this function. So this is the function, this is the function. So this is the first function, this is the second function. Both the functions belongs to the student class. Why? Because this membership operator can tell that this get function belongs to this class. If we are not writing here membership function, then we are not able to differentiate whether this get function belongs to student class or some other class. So students, this is about the inside the class definition and outside the class definition.
Students, we can see how we can create a class in C++. So this is our C++ compiler where we are going to write the program. So initially we have to declare two header files. First is iostream.h and second one is conio.h. After this, students, now we are going to create a class. So suppose the class which we are going to create is student. So the name of the class is student. So initially we can write the class keyword. After that we can write the name of the class. So we have a class name student. So that means class, and after space we are writing the name of class. After this we can now start the brackets, curly brackets for class. Here now within the brackets now we have to declare all the data members and member functions of this class. So students, you have to remember one important thing, that by default all the data members and member functions of the class are private in nature. So if you are not going to specify any of the access specifier, that means by default all the data members and member functions are private. So here suppose we have two data members, first one is age and second one is name. So here we are creating the character of arrays because name consists of number of characters, but in C++ if we want to store the number of characters simultaneously, then there is no data type with name string. So if we want to use the strings in our program, then we have to use the character array. So these are the two data members. Now we are going to write two member functions for this class. So students, here the member functions we have to declare in the public section, because those member functions we have to use outside the class. So if we are going to declare the member functions private, that means we are not able to access it outside the class. So here we are writing public. Now first function is suppose void get function. So in get function we are going to get the information of the student. Cout enter age cin age, second one is cout, enter name, and then cin name. So that means this is the end of this function. Now second function is void display function, where we can display the values that is entered by the user in the get function. So first is we are going to print age. Age is age, then endl. In next line now we are going to print the name. Name is name and end. So this is the end of second function. Now students, after this we have to close the class, because two member functions and two data members are defined. You can define any number of data members and any number of member functions in a class. So here we have defined the member functions inside the class. That means it is inside the class definition. If we are only declare the get and display function inside the class, but we are defining these two functions outside the class, that means that the definition is outside the class. So students, we can close the class with semicolon. So these are the class starts from this bracket and the class closed in this bracket. After closing the class, now we have to start with main function, that is void main. Now students, if we want to access the private members, using the public member functions of the class, then we have to create the object, and using object only we can access the private data members. So for declaring the object in our program, we have to write the name of the class. So here in this example, the name of the class is student. After space we can write the name of object. So suppose the name of the object is S. After this we have to put the semicolon, enter. Now student, this object will access the member functions of the class. So in order to access the member function, object can use the dot operator, or we can call that operator as a pointer to member access operator. So here we can write s dot first function is your get function. So after writing dot operator, we can write the name of function. So first function is get function. After this you have to put the semicolon, comma, again s dot display function. Second function in your class is display function. Then you have to use that function. Round brackets means function brackets, semicolon, enter, get ch. You have to write the get ch to close the program and to hold the output screen. So this is your class program. Now students, we are going to run this program. For that we have to press Ctrl F9. Now you can see here, enter age. Now we are going to enter the age. Suppose age is 20. After this, enter name. Name is Ayush. Enter. So it is being displayed using the function, that is age is 20 and name is Ayush. So this is the output of this program, and this is how class works. Now you can see students, here we have a class with name student. This class is having two data members and two member functions, and both the member functions are defined as well as declared inside the class only, and we have one object that is in the class, or that is the instance of the class with name s. So using only object we can access the public member functions outside the class. Now you can see, if we are going to change the access specifier from public to private, okay students, or if we are not writing anything, that means by default all the member functions are also private in nature. Now you can execute the program, control F9. Now it will show the error, student get is not accessible, while student display is again not accessible. Why students? Because now get and display both are private member functions of the class. That means these member functions will not be accessible outside the class. So we have to put this under the public section if we are going to use it outside the class. So this is about the class example with the help of objects. In this video, we can see how the member functions of the class are defined inside as well as outside the class. For that, we have to create a class. For example, here we are taking the example of employee class. So the name of the class is employee. After this, we can start the brackets. In these brackets, now students, we can write the data members as well as the member functions belong to this particular class. So if we are not declaring the data members and member functions inside the class, then compiler will not come to know whether the data members or member functions that are in the program belongs to this particular class or some other class. So compiler will show the errors. So always the data as well as the functions that belongs to this class you have to write within the class brackets only. For example, in this case we have two data members. First is employee ID, second one is the name of employee. So size of the name of the employee is 20. Now students, we are declaring the member function. So for declaration only we have to write the return type, and after writing the return type we have to write the name of the function. So students, again the name of the functions as well as the name of the data is user defined, means you can write your names, but you have to follow the rules of variables while you are writing the name. Always the name of the function as well as the data starts from alphabets, and alphabets, number and underscore is only allowed. No other special character is allowed while you are writing the name of the class, while you are writing the name of any variable, while you are declaring the function. So first function here we are writing get function. So get function, after writing the get function, now we have to put the semicolon. Second function is display function, which is used to display the details that is entered by the employee. After declaring these two functions, now students, we are closing the class employees with semicolon. So class is always closed with semicolon. So this class is a template for a object. Now students, after this we have to define these data members, member functions outside the class. For that, the syntax is return type space name of the class, scope resolution operator, and then the function name. So here the return type of first function is void, so we are writing void. Then we have to write the name of the class, that is employees. Then we have to put the scope resolution operator. Here scope resolution operator means using this scope resolution operator, or we can call this as a membership label. This membership label will tell that the get function belongs to the employee class. So in short, membership function will tell the compiler that the function we are going to define outside the class belongs to employee class, because in our program we have number of classes. So how will compiler come to know whether this function belongs to this particular class or some other class? So this membership label will tell that this particular function belongs to the employee class. After this, we have to now define the get function. In order to define the get function, we are writing the statement enter employee ID, then cin emp id. Second function is enter name, then we can write C in name. So this is how we can define the member functions. Now we have to start with second member function. For second member function we have to write the return type. For display function, the return type is void. Then we can write the name of a class, that is employee. Scope resolution operator, that we can call here membership label. After this we can write the name of a function. Now in this function we are going to display the information that is entered by the employee in the get function. So for that we have to write the cout statement. Cout employee ID is emp id, then we can put endl so that the next line will be print, so the next statement will be print in the next line. Then we can write name is name. So this is the end of second function. So this is how we can define the member functions outside the class. Now students, we have to start with void main. In void main we can write we can declare the object. So for declaring the object we have to write the name of a class, and after writing the name of the class, now we are going to declare the name of the object. So suppose here the name of the object is EMP semicolon. Then in order to call the member functions of the class we have to use the dot operator. So emp dot, first function is get function, second function is emp dot display. This is display function. Then we can use get ch, and after this we can close the brackets. Now we are going to run this program. So we have two errors here. We have to put the inverted commas. Now you can see enter employee ID. So suppose employee ID is 21. After this we have to enter the name. Name is Amit. So using display function these two values will be displayed, that is employee ID is 21, name is Amit. So this is how we can define the member functions outside the class. Now students, if we want to define these member functions inside the class, then what we have to do, we have to delete these functions, these function definitions. Now we have deleted this definition. You can see now students, we have first function, that is void get function. You can see first function is void get function. In void get function now we are going to define this function inside the class. So this is the declaration, that is void get. Now we have to put the brackets. Here we are writing enter age, c in age, then c out, sorry, enter EMP ID, then here we have to write the EMP ID. Second one is enter name, C in name. So this is the definition of first function. While we are defining the member functions inside the class, then there is no need of the membership label, because membership label only tells the compiler that this function belongs to that particular class. But here if the functions are declared as well as defined inside the class, that means that is obvious that these functions belongs to the particular class where it is declared and defined. So there is no need of the membership label. Second function we have is display function. So again we are going to define this display function. Here employee ID is EMP ID, cout, name is name. This is how we can define the second function inside the class. Now students, after this defining the functions, we have to close the class. So this is the bracket of, this is the starting bracket to start the class, and this is the end bracket to close the class. And these two brackets are for the first function and these two brackets are for the second function. So definition, if we are going to define the member functions inside the class, then after defining all the functions of that particular class, only then we can close the class. After this we can write the void main and clr and rest all the program is same. Or using objects only we can access the member functions of the class, either they are defined inside the class or whether they are defined outside the class. So again we can see by running this program. So here again the input is, we are going to enter is 32, enter name is Kavish, employee ID is 32 and name is Kavish. So this is how we can define the member functions inside as well as outside the class.